Look at that beautiful sunrise. It's amazing. So boys and girls, we are at the famous, glorious, beautiful Hauifoss. Look at my friends over there. There they are. Hey! So let me introduce to you Jeroen and Celine.
Hello.
Taking out my friends from Belgium for a little road trip.
Blah 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 blah.
So, people sometimes ask me, Frank, do you never get sick of Iceland? Well, no, not really. Even though I've seen a lot, it's always different when I return. Like here, Hauifoss. It's a bit frozen right now. So the thing is, you have to find new places in Iceland or have new ways of discovering. For example, I reached out to Volcano Pilot and he might be taking us out for a little flight this afternoon, which is a first for me. I've never flown above the landscape. It's getting a bit windy now, so the cold is creeping in. Gloves on, jacket on. It's necessary.
And the wind is blowing in my face. I'm cold. What's cooking good looking? Alright, alright, alright. We just received a go.
Aboard with Frank, Jay, and Celine!
That was funny. Anyway, that got us talking about my fear of flying, which I think is based on fear of losing control. That doesn't mean in any kind, but one of the examples is flying, because I basically, at least in my head, give full control over my body and my being to the person who is keeping the aircraft in the air. And then he asked me if I'm a control freak, and I said, I think I am. And then he pointed at the handles and he said, "You're in control now." I was flying the plane. He gave me the instructions to maintain altitude and fly towards 2 lakes, and then as soon as we got there he told me to fly towards the harbor, so we were flying over the city, then do descent down to approaching altitude, and then of course he had to take over and land the plane. That was my childhood's dream that came true. It sounds very funny with all my fear of flying talk, but when I was a teenager, I dreamed of becoming a pilot, but I never thought it was possible because of intensive training and costs and my fear of flying. So I ended up playing Flight Simulator and taking pictures of planes. Although my fear of flying took an extreme in my early 20s, I managed to overcome my fear slowly. I still struggle with turbulence or weird stuff happening, but I'm able to enjoy it more and more. I was surprised that in a small plane I actually had less fear of flying than I sometimes have in the big airliners. Thank you, Mr. Volcano Pilot. You have awakened my childhood dream again. Oh, by the way, this is not my choice of wall color. I'm in a hotel room in Madrid with a awful orange wall while I'm editing this video, but let's not make that more confusing. More about that in the next video.